Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about a tweet from Madison Cawthorn. Okay, we're going to do this because, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen so much wrong packed into such a tight space before. But aside from that, it also kind of encapsulates everything that the Republican Party has wrong right now. Everything that's going on that's wrong, from their talking points to the way the leadership tries to motivate their base. And in this case, it's about something that the Republican Party holds dear. It's about something they try to create single-issue voters about. So today we're going to talk about what the Republican Party gets wrong about the firearms debate in this country. Here's the tweet. Next time a leftist asks you why we need the Second Amendment, say Australia and walk away. Okay, whatever. I mean, I guess. The intent of this tweet is to hand out a talking point. And that talking point is that if you're confronted by leftists who want to take your guns, you should bring up Australia. Okay, but why? Because it doesn't make any sense. Let's start with this. Leftists, generally speaking, could be seen as people who support Marx, like Karl Marx. Now, that's not entirely accurate, but it's far more accurate than the working definition that most Republicans have. Marx was famously, against firearms. He's the person that said there's no reason why on the street today citizens should be carrying loaded weapons. Right? No, that's Ronald Reagan. Karl Marx said under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. And he went on to explain that he means under no pretext. And that you stop it no matter what. Leftists are not out for your guns. That's not a thing. That is made up. That's not real. I think the easiest way to demonstrate this is that most gun owners who are watching this video, you probably know what the NRA is, right? Google the SRA. Leftists don't want your guns. That's not a thing. That's something that, the Republican leadership made up. They lied to you. They manipulated you. They tricked you. So the whole idea doesn't make sense, starting with that premise. But sure, maybe we can just assume that Madison Cawthorn is ignorant and doesn't know the difference between a liberal and a leftist. Okay? I mean, it's fair. We can give him that mistake, right? But why does he talk about Australia? Because they had the gun ban there after Port Arthur, right? And obviously, it was leftists or liberals who did that. No, it was conservatives. It was conservatives who did that. It wasn't liberals, it wasn't leftists, it was the conservative government. Now, in and of itself, that should stop this whole thing, but let's go a little bit further with it. The whole idea of bring up Australia is that they had the gun ban. They had the guns taken away. That is what is portrayed in the American mind when it comes to Port Arthur. What if I told you there were more guns in Australia today than there were before the quote ban? Because there are. There are. It's been that way for a few years. The idea that the Australian people were totally disarmed is made up. It's manufactured. They lied to you. They are playing on your ignorance. It's just not real. But that's what they want their talking point based on. And it makes sense, because if you were to say this to a leftist who knows anything about Australia, you definitely want to walk away afterward. And the person who handed you that talking point wants you to walk away too, because they don't want you to know the truth. Now, so we have covered the fact that the idea that Australians had their guns all taken away, that's not true. We've covered the fact that leftists don't want your guns. That's not a thing. Why do Americans believe they need the Second Amendment to protect the freedom, right? To protect the freedom they don't have down there in Australia because they don't have guns, even though they do. The Cato Institute, I don't think many people would call that a leftist organization, releases an index, rankings of countries based on human freedom. Australia's 5. I don't know what the United States is because it's not even in the top 10, and I didn't go look. It's made up. It's manufactured. This whole theory, this whole talking point, it's a straw man that was created for ignorant people to use. And I don't mean ignorant as an insult. I mean it as uneducated as to the topic. But the Republican establishment at this point, they want their voters ignorant. They want them uneducated. They want them easy to manipulate. And now they're even doing it with causes that are seen as Republican staples. You know, they've done this with a lot of other stuff for a long time. But now they're attempting to do it with the Second Amendment and just make stuff up about it. That's something Republicans might want to pay attention to. I mean, I can't imagine what would be next. But in short, leftists don't want your guns. Not a thing. Conservatives took guns in Australia, not liberals, not leftists. Australia today has more guns than it did before Port Arthur, before the ban, and, well, Australia has a higher freedom ranking. So, if you were to tell a leftist Australia and walk away, they'd be pretty confused. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.